Hi, my name's Cameron Ashley. I'm the owner of Journey of Wellness, a small holistic health coaching practice here in Mona Vale, Sydney, Australia. This is just a brief clip to break down for you the process I go through with my private coaching clients and my online coaching clients. But before I dive into that, there's one point I really want to convey as to my style of coaching and how I work with people. And that is, I coach the whole person. I don't coach or treat the symptom or the disease that has the person. Okay, now why that's really important is because without understanding you as an individual and just treating you like everyone else that may have similar symptoms, I won't then really understand or have a really good insight into how that symptom has arisen, because that's the key point here. It's symptoms and signals and problems don't just occur because it's just what happens. They've occurred for a reason, and then there's a purpose to it, and that purpose is individual for you to learn, experience, and grow from, so that it doesn't happen again, and so that you can come into greater balance and harmony with yourself. So I just wanted to convey that because I'm very passionate about that, and it's definitely how I coach and work with people. So where do we begin with this coaching process? Well, the first part is to understand what your overall dream for yourself is. And it's different to a goal. So how I usually ask that is, well, what might be your intention for yourself? So you might go, well, my intention's to get out of pain. And you go, well, why is that important for you? Like, why do you want to get out of pain? What's the result? If you're not in pain, how do you want to live or be? And that's very different. Because attaching all the systems, the theories, the protocols, and the programs that I might be delivering to you, well, we need to individualize them to understand, well, why are we doing it in the first place? Why are we working on breathing? Well, we're breathing for X, or we're eating a certain way for X. So we need to align everything that we do towards that individual dream, and not wanting you to be like me in any way or live like another person in any way. We need to create your own wellness program centered around that dream, so that it's not just eliminating the pain, but also healing it, but also making sure it doesn't come back. What have we learned about the process so that that never comes back again, or never affects you moving forward? So that's what we always, or I will always bring your mind, or bring to each session, is to remind you about what that dream is, and to not doubt it or fear it. Okay? So the next part of that is then the assessment of your stress, or what might be termed physiological load, to really understand, well, what systems or areas in your life are out of balance. So where am I doing too much of, or not enough of, or and that's usually centered around the 4 doctors, which I'll get to in a sec. But the idea is that without understanding your overall physiological load, I won't know how far to push you, both mentally and emotionally, but also physically. And without understanding that, that's where a lot of problems can creep in, because we're not really listening to the overwhelmed state that the body could be in, or the high stress state that the body could be in. Okay, so that's a process of online questionnaires, which you'll have on your own individual portal online. It's also physical assessment, and through both of those different avenues, I can gain a pretty good insight as to how far I can take you and when, and really establishing a good starting point. So from that, I get to look at, well, if you're in the high load, like really stressed, a lot of problems, a lot of niggles, a lot of things that are inhibiting your function in life, or you've only got a few things, but it could be escalating, so moderate realm, so you've got pain and problems, but you can sort of live. Or a low load where you don't have many problems, but you're just wanting to refine your health and refine, what you can do, or your potential. So each of these have different approaches or different intentions. Okay, now this is going to then govern our choices. So our choices to eat X, or our choice to, release or move that part, or to meditate, or to relax more or to change our sleep rhythms. All of these pertain to this type of model where our choices are going to be really defined and really guided based off this type of model. And again, I determine that from the second step, from the assessment. So if you were to land in the high priority, that might look like something like, well, how much sleep and quiet time do we need? How much rest and relaxation do we need? What other support referrals do we need to help bring balance to many areas of our body? What type of stretching and mobilizing do we need? What type of food and nutrition to help, say, heal the gut or to help repair a broken bone? Or, so really starting at that healing phase, really, beginning to restore a lot of systems and subsystems that have been out of balance for some time, and hence the symptomology. And basically, I guide each person through that in the effort to get to that low priority where you can choose to experiment and explore and not be hindered by aches or pains or problems. So that's really, really important. So that's always my goal, is to take someone from here and get them to lower their scores. And listen, I'm not going to lie, but everyone's in different stages of their life, different learnings, different transitions, different ages. And with those different ages and transitions, there's a new presented issue or problem. So I'm why I wanted to convey that is I'm definitely not trying to sell you on the idea that you always have to be in a low load. But the aim is that can we learn enough so that it doesn't keep escalating so far up that we get lots of symptoms and lots of problems, okay? So I just wanted to make that point. So how do we do that? Well, we visit the 4 doctors. And the 4 doctors is just a methodology created by Paul Chek from the Chek Institute, which is a holistic health education system, and has just brought together an easy way to compile and create a wellness program with all the information that's out there. And so Dr. Happiness will pertain to the mind, beliefs, self-sabotaging beliefs, both good and bad, consciousness itself, and how we direct ourselves. Quiet time relates to meditation, sleep, going within, and cooling and quietening everything down. Diet relates to, or how it sounds, food, nutrition, and everything in between, and how our relationship with diet. And then movement's got to do with whether we're really going to look at working out the body more, or we need to work inward more to help balance and create harmony. So basically, guys, we use the 4 doctors to create the program and to give it a bit of guidance and set a priority of what's needed first. So in a nutshell, in summarizing, once we find out what the motive or dream for your dream is for changing, we then assess that, well, where you're at in terms of where's out of balance. Then it's creating or understanding, well, where are our choices going to be directed in terms of whether you're in a high, moderate, or low state. And then how can we use the 4 doctors to create more balance and to really give us basically a focus point for each or all of them at the same time. Now, in saying all that and in summarizing that, I'm definitely have a big, push or a big emphasis on less is more. I definitely don't try and overload clients. I definitely don't try and push anyone too far out of their comfort zone where all the information, all the problems is just too overwhelming. That's not my style. I try and keep it very simple and to the point where I create individual wellness programs, and usually we just focus on 2 to 3 focus points per month, so that you have enough time to integrate, practice, and learn. And that's what we coach on, and that's what I focus on each month. So that, at the end of usually a 12-week program, you've covered between 6 to 9 key focus points and key changes. And that even in itself is quite a lot. So it just depends on you and where you're at and the capacity for learning. So I hope that makes sense, guys. There's a lot involved, but I try and keep it simple because quite often, we complicate health and we complicate our wellness with trying to do too many things. And if we can just narrow it down to one or two key things, then it's a lot easier. So that's my job as a coach. So please click on the button below to, go to how my program may work. And if you've got any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So best of luck, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay, thank you.